Hello everyone. This month's square is a mosaic square. I can't get it all in the camera, so it's a really simple technique actually that looks pretty cool. So this is what it'll look like when it's finished. Let's go over the pattern. This video is going to be a little bit longer because there's a little bit more to cover. Okay, so it's strip 1. Oh, it says strip 1. I'm sorry. It's strip 3, but it's strip 3 of block 1, your mosaic. You're going to cast on 52 stitches loosely, so you don't want your edge to be all scrunched. You're going to knit 4 rows and garter stitch, increasing 3 stitches across every 4th row, equaling 55 stitches. 49 stitches are used in the mosaic pattern, 6 stitches are used in the border. You have a choice to either use the chart or the written directions. So I did make a chart for this. Let me show it to you. And you will understand what it's saying once we go through this. So you can read this or read the written directions. I did write them out for you. I wasn't going to because I thought you should read the chart, but then I realized not everyone has the best eyes, including me, so I decided to write it out. Okay, so you're going to work the mosaic pattern for all 98 rows. So this whole pattern is 98 rows long. When your 98 rows are complete, if your pattern doesn't measure 12.5 inches from the beginning of the pattern, work a few more garter rows in the main color until it does. It all depends on how tight a knitter you are. If you're super tight, you might come up short, so you'll just need to knit a few more garter rows. Okay? Then you're going to knit 2 rows of garter, decreasing 3 stitches evenly across the first row. Okay. This is so crooked, sorry. Don't forget, you're going to keep your main color on the border stitches. So same situation here. Your main color, in this pattern, your main color is color A. You will need to do the lockdown yarn method that we've already learned, and by now you're probably comfortable with. With this pattern, you're going to have 3 balls of yarn because we've got a border here in our main color. We've got a border over here in our main color, and then we have our contrast color. So you're going to have at least 3 balls going for this. And then here's some mosaic chart notes. Number 1, all rows of the mosaic chart are worked twice. Now we're going to read through this and then I will show you and it'll make more sense, but it's important to read your whole pattern before you start. Row 1, your right side is read from the right to left. Okay? Row 2, your wrong side is read from left to right. Row 1 and 2 are the same rows. In short, read the row 1 time from the right and the 2nd time from the left. Let's look at that on the chart real quick. Whoops, that's not the chart. Here's the chart, okay? So here's the chart, and you'll see this says row 1 here, and then this says row 2 here, same row. So you're gonna work it this way. You'll work your border stitches. You'll work across here. You'll work your border stitches. Then you're gonna come back and work your border stitches, and you're gonna do the same. You're gonna do exactly what you see. Okay, you're going to do exactly what you see. So that's row 1 and 2. So 3 and 4 goes this way and then this way. Okay, so it takes a little bit longer to knit this because 2 rows equals 1. Okay, so each chart row consists of knit stitches and slip stitches, or just knit stitches. Each pair of rows is worked in one color. So that means like row 1 is only worked in color A or B, whichever it says. Then the next set of rows, 3 and 4, are going to be worked in the opposite color. Okay, so right to left, left to right, all same colors. You've worked that row twice, now you move on and you'll do a different color. Rows 1 and 2 are worked with color B. Knit B stitches, slip A stitches purlwise with the yarn held at the wrong side of the work. Just like normal, you'll have your yarn held at the wrong side of the work, which is behind. Rows 3 and 4, you're going to work with color A. You're going to slip B stitches purlwise with the yarn held at the wrong side of the work, but the wrong side of the work is facing you, so you will need to hold your yarn in the front. Each chart row is worked twice, once on the right side, then on the wrong, knitting and slipping the same stitches on the right side row as on the right side row. Okay? Here's the rules. Always hold working yarn to the wrong side of work when slipping stitches. That means if you're working the wrong side, you will hold the yarn to the front of the work while slipping. Okay. All wrong side, even numbered rows are worked exactly like the prior right side row. You knit the knit stitches and you slip the slip stitches. The only difference will be that the working yarn is held either in the front or the back while slipping. The above reason, because row 2 is just like row 1, row 4 is just like row 3, I did not write out your wrong side rows. Okay, I didn't write them out in the written directions because you're going to do exactly what you see. Important information about row 34 or 35 through 64, which is this. Okay, this is rows 35 through 60. Beginning on the row on row 37 in color B, you will work 17 stitches in the chart. Then you're going to join a separate ball of yarn, which is right here. This is where you would join a separate ball of yarn of your main color, and you're going to knit 16 stitches. So you're going to do this all in color A. Here you're going to join. You're going to do it all in color B. You're going to join color A to work across, and then you've got to join another ball of color B to work across here. And then of course you've got to have your other ball of main color for here. Okay, I'm going to do that row for you to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now here's something, if that's just way too much, you don't want to deal with that many balls of yarn, that's completely fine. I get it. So here's a third of the pattern. Here's a third of the pattern. And here's a third of the pattern. This and this are pretty much the same. So if you wanted to, you could knit this and then repeat this whole section here and then knit this section. So you just want to have an empty square here. You would just only deal with the same amount of 3 balls of yarn, and it would all be solid across like that. Okay. So let's just look at some of these rows real quick. Okay, so color B is knit 15, slip 1, knit 33. So that means that row 2 is going to be knit 33, slip 1, knit 15. let's look at our, see, it's the same. We knit 15 in color B, we slipped one, then we knit 33. So coming back, you're going to knit 33, slip one, knit 15. Okay, all these rows are really self-explanatory. It's just, you just have to pay attention to this, or you can count. And what I did, I think, when I did it, was I counted them out. I counted them like 10, I might have counted them 5, made a note 5 boxes at a time, so I didn't have to go like this every time. I could go, okay, I'm gonna knit 5, 5, 5. Okay, knit 15, that, and then, you know, count them, make a note. So that's how I did it when I followed the chart, because for me, following the chart was way easier than following this. But it's personal preference. It's whatever is easiest for you. Okay. Let's see here. So I wrote this out before I show you what I'm talking about for this thing, before we go through a little demonstration. I want you to see this. And it has to do with here. No, great. How am I going to do that? Hold on. Do we get it? Do we have it? Yes, row 37. Start it. Okay, so it says in color B, I'm doing my border. I'm gonna knit one, slip one, do all my things to here, to here. Then then it says color A. You know, I'm gonna knit my 15. Okay. Then it says knit one. I did not put, you're done with this square. You're going back to whatever color you're working on, whether it be A or B. I did not in the pattern write change back to color B, because you can see, you can see that this is 15 stitches. It's always going to be worked in your main color, and then you change from there. Okay, if you look, every single row has you change, except for the rows where you're working your main color. You're going to be changing. Do all this, change to color A, knit your 15 stitches, then you'll go back to color B and do these. It's going to be very self-explanatory when you get there. Okay, so now I am going to show you what I mean by this. Let's see here. Let me find what row I want to do. I do not have the whole thing. Let me go like this. Knit. I wanted to just get to a spot where I could explain what was happening. Okay, so color B, so that's not my main color. I'm going to do row 41, okay? And look at all these balls of yarn I have, okay? Here's my border. Here's my color B. I've already started my square here, so I've got a color B here that I'm going to work all the way over to here. And then what do I have here? I have my main color here. Then I work it all the way over to here, and then I have another color B here. Then I work that all the way over here, and I have my main color again. Okay, it's a lot of yarn. So it's a lot to keep track of, but it's a cool result. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go row 41. I'm gonna do my border stitches. Okay. Then I'm going to lock down, put my border stitches over the color I'm picking up, color B. You always want to lock it down, okay? Every single row, regardless if you're changing the color or not. Okay, that just keeps it together. So I'm going to knit one, then I'm going to slip one. My yarn's in back because it's on the wrong side of the row work. So I'm going to slip one, knit one, slip one. Then I'm going to knit three, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one. There's a lot of slips here, so watch. This is another thing I do if I'm reading this. I can go like this, which could be helpful. Here I am on row 41, and look at all those slips, right? So I'm just gonna count that out. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 slips there, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knits. Okay, so I know I'm gonna slip one 5 times. So let's see, I knit 3. I've knit 3. Now I'm going to slip one 5 times, so this is going to make it much easier. Because my eyes, I don't know about you, but my eyes jump around on the page. So knit one. Okay, I did that wrong. Or no, I didn't do it wrong. I'm sorry. It's not going to look exactly like yours because I just kind of, this isn't the true pattern for here. Okay, I just kind of worked up to there. Slip one, knit one, slip one, okay, here we go. Now I need to knit 15 in color A. So I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna pick up my main color. The ball's just hanging out there. Then I'm going to knit across. Okay. There we go. And then I'm just gonna kind of do what I want for the rest of this thing because it's not the real pattern. I'm just showing you this technique. So now here's my color B. Then I'm working the rest of my row in. So now I'm gonna let my main color hang, lock it over my new color that I'm going to be using. Okay. And I want to tell you that when you work across this in your main color the whole way, you might be like, oh, I'm just going to use the whole, one ball for the whole thing because it's the main color. Don't do that. Okay. Still use, like say you work all the way across in your main color, you still pick up this ball for this. You still work all the way across and you'll still pick up the other ball of your main color for this, okay? And if any time you mess up because you're like, the ball's not in the right spot, it doesn't matter. Cut it, make another ball. You can tie it together, split splice it together, right? So I had to do that earlier, actually, because I messed all my balls up. So that's just part of knitting. And it's super easy to remedy. So let's see here. I just want to do this really quick because I want to turn it around. We're going to pretend this is row 41, okay? Oh, shit. Hello, here I am on this video. Sorry, I don't know how to edit, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm supposed to be working the rest of this row in color B, not my main color, so that was not smart. But see, I'm just taking it out. Okay, here we go. Let's get this right. Here I am, the rest of the row. So I'm going to knit this. I'm going to slip this. I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to slip, knit. Okay, drop. I'm going to hang that one over my border yarn, lock it down. Now I'm going to knit it. Okay, so that was row 41, pretend. Okay, now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to work row 42, which is, I'm just going to be doing what I see. The only difference in this is you're gonna have to move move your working yarn to the front when you slip a stitch, okay? So here we go. Here's my border stitch. Okay, move it to the front, hang it there, and here my color A needs to come to the front too. Okay, so we're gonna put my working yarn over that. Then we're gonna move it to the back. Had to bring it forward to lock it down. Then we're gonna just do what we see. So here I go, I'm knitting my, oh, this is a slip stitch. I know it's a slip stitch because it's the opposite color. So I need to bring my yarn forward and slip it purlwise. Then move it back and knit. Okay, that's the only difference on the wrong side of the row, is you're bringing that yarn forward. Another slip stitch, move it forward, slip it, take it back. Okay, and let's get to the square real quick so we can look at that. 1, 2, 3, slip, moving it forward, moving it back to knit. Okay, here I am. Here's my square again. So much yarn. And here's my main color that's hanging out there waiting for me to work it. So I got to bring my yarn forward, hang it over the top of my main color, lock it down, and work across. Okay. Then we'll just finish this up here real quick. Okay, I'm done with my main color. In just 1 second. There we go. Okay, bring it forward because it's on the wrong side. Lock it down. Here's my color B hanging out there. Pick that up and start working that. Okay, and that is how you do it. So what I was talking about earlier, in case I was confusing, what I'm saying is when you work in color A, which is your main color, all the way across, so main color here, gray here, right? Gray here, they'll still be yellow because you're slipping your stitches. Gray here. Have another ball of gray yarn right here, okay? So you drop this have another ball of your main color right here. So drop this ball of your main color, work this ball of your main color over here, okay? Have another ball of your main color here, work it over there, and then you're gonna have to have your garter ball of main color too. Because if you don't, you'll want to go, I'll just use the same one here and here. Well, then this yarn that's usually here is hanging out over here, and you won't be able to finish it when you have to do a yellow or a B row. So we're going to have a ball of main color here. We're going to have a ball of main color here, plus your alternate color, ball of main color here, and your alternate color here, and your ball of main color here, and probably your alternate ball here. Okay, a lot of yarn, a lot of balls. So I hope that was clear. I mean, the pattern is pretty easy to read. You just have to do what it says. The key key things about Mosaic is you work 2 rows. 2 rows equal one row, and you just work the second row just like the first. Do what you see. And when you're on the wrong side and you're slipping, make sure you always bring your yarn to the front to slip. Okay, and then move it to the back. Okay, and when you're locking down on the wrong side, you're going to do it in the front. All of that takes place on the front, because if it doesn't, this side is not going to look so great, which it will look really great. Okay, I think that I have covered everything. I hope that this was clear enough for you, and if it wasn't, I will see you in class. Get a hold of me if you have any questions. Have a great monthly, you guys.